ever wake up in the middle of the night and think, God, I was lucky there, that could have been a lot worse? I still do occasionally, and we're going to talk now about something that happened. It was 2002 and I went to buy a brand new BMW. It's the last BMW I was to own actually, and it was a BMW 5 Series 530d Touring, and here it is. Perfect for a family man like me at the time. Sophisticated car, beautiful to drive, fast, comfortable, and like all BMWs, luxurious, high performance, but undemanding. That magic BMW mix. Anyway, I was wanted to take my children to see in April 2003 where my childhood was, where I'd grown up, and the reason for that was that I'd written a book for the Christmas before, called Vaughny Boy, written and illustrated by Vaughan Grills, and it was about what happened to me in my childhood. And here it is. Here's a copy. There I am on the front, being kissed, or I thought I was kissing her, but she was kissing me, my first girlfriend, when I was about 12 in Newark. I was standing at Newark Castle reading about the history of the castle to her. She grabbed the pamphlet out of my hand and shoved it in a waste paper basket and then sort of started snogging me. Anyway, she's got on the front page there, on the cover. And here's Uncle Charles driving us to Skegness, Chapel St Leonard's, on the Lincolnshire coast in his Austin 7. I might have shown you that before. Anyway, I thought we'd go and have a look at some of these places where these things had happened. And so it meant driving from London with my 3 children, different ages. My eldest was 24 years old then, for my first marriage, and the other 2, one was 10 and the other was 8. We were driving up the A1, the Great North Road as it used to be called, which is a narrow road, quite fast, and lots of roundabouts on it. And I knew it like the back of my hand because I'd driven up and down it for years and years and years. But we were driving up in the BMW, and it was a new car at the time. And we stopped for coffee. Well, the children had pop, Penny and I had coffee in Stamford on the way. So we had a coffee, and then we joined the road again. And soon after we joined it, I was driving along, and in front of me was a great big lorry, an Arctic as they call it, with a great big sort of, trailer on it. And anyway, and in the rear view mirror I saw, this all happened very quickly, I saw one of those concrete mixer lorries with a thing going around like this, you see. And I was only doing about 50 miles an hour because I just joined the motorway again. And suddenly I realised that there's something wrong with the lorry in front of me, because we were on a downward slope, and at the bottom of the slope was a roundabout. You came to a hill, and then you could look down the roundabout. This guy obviously wasn't very conversant with this, and I could see he started to put his brakes on, and his trailer started swinging like this, and he must have realised he couldn't make it, because suddenly he headed into the left and over the bank and went down with it. That was the front bit of the lorry, of the articulated lorry. The cab went down there, and of course the trailer then went like this across the inside lane which I was on, and suddenly I saw it swinging out to cross the outside lane as well towards the barrier down the middle. And I looked quickly in the mirror, all in a split second, and I saw that the guy behind is right behind me in the concrete lorry. He was obviously looking panic-stricken. He was trying to slow down as well, and I thought, God, I've got to do something quick. So I dropped the BMW into third, and I just gunned it into the gap between the back of his trailer that he'd lost control of and the steel safety barrier down the middle, and I just squeezed through, and then the lorry trailer hit me and it spun us round like this. We went flying off there. Didn't leave the road, went flying off. And then the concrete lorry, of course, couldn't stop either, and it just hit the trailer behind and spun it even first. By that time we'd spun out of the way. And we could have all been killed easily. And anyway, when the fire brigade first arrived, one of the fire brigade officers said to me, because the children were actually, Hattie, my 10-year-old, was, she didn't know what was happening, she'd been reading a book. And in fact, in the front, Pinny in the front, the 24-year-old, a steel girder from the back of the lorry had come through the window of the car, and I said duck, and otherwise she would have been decapitated. And anyway, this guy, the fireman, said, he said, "You're very lucky to be in this car, sir." I said, "Yeah?" He said, "Oh yeah, we see, I'm afraid, lots of crashes, we see horrible things, but," he said, this 5 Series BMW is the strongest car on the road. It's made, you know, built like no other. It's got steel crash things built in all around it, and it's built superbly. You're lucky to be alive. If you've been in almost any other car, you won't be talking to me now, and neither would your children." And I thought about that, and I thought about how this German car had been built. Anyway, I'll play the German national anthem, I think. In English, I'll try and sing it. Unity, justice and freedom for the German fatherland. For those let us thus excel ourselves, brotherly with heart and hand. Unity, justice and freedom, the base of all our happiness. Flourish therefore in its radiance, flourish German fatherland. The car I was driving, the model of 530d, was built from 1995 to 2003, and it was called the E39. And some years ago, Jeremy Clarkson picked one up for 1,500 quid, part of one of those sort of tour things he does. And they drove it right across Africa, and it's the only car of the 3 they chose that for old cars, and it didn't break down once. And the motoring press at the time and since, not just in England but in Germany and in America and elsewhere, have described the E39 5 Series BMW as das beste Auto der Welt, or the best car in the world. Well, it may be the best car in the world. I'm not going to argue with that. For me personally, and more importantly for my children, it was, and it always will be.